Thank you for staying with us on the Goodell Multiverse podcast. We are on our Branchpoint breakdown, and we have another special for you today, guys. Our mother has joined us back in studio.
Hi.
And we're going to be reviewing the amazing film Titanic that came out in 1997. So, as always, I'm going to get started with a little bit of a history behind the film, guys, and then my mom's going to jump in there. Our mom is, and she's going to tell you the official synopsis of the film, and then Ike is going to wrap it up, the intro part, with telling you basically what the movie is. So we'll get right into it. So, Titanic was released on December 19th, 1997. The main cast includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Billy Zane, Kathy Bates, Frances Fisher, Gloria Stewart, Bill Paxton, and Bernard Hill, just to name a few. History behind the film. Titanic is an epic romantic disaster film written, directed, and produced by James Cameron. Set aboard the real RMS Titanic during its ill-fated maiden voyage in 1912, the film follows the fictional love story of Jack Dawson, a poor artist played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Rose DeWitt Bukater.
Yep.
An upper-class young woman played by Kate Winslet. Blending historical events with a sweeping love story, Cameron created a film that appealed to both fans of romance and large-scale spectacle. At the time of its production, Titanic was considered one of the biggest gambles in Hollywood history. Its budget ballooned to approximately $200 million, making it the most expensive film ever produced at the time. Industry insiders widely predicted it would become a financial disaster. Instead, the film became a global phenomenon, earning over $2.2 billion worldwide through its original release and subsequent re-releases. It became the first movie ever to surpass $1 billion at the global box office and remained the highest-grossing film of all time until James Cameron's own Avatar overtook it in 2010. Critically, Titanic was highly praised for its groundbreaking visual effects, production design, cinematography, score, and emotional storytelling. The film currently holds an 88% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 69% audience score. It was nominated for 14 Academy Awards and won 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director, tying the record set by Ben-Hur for the most Oscar wins at the time. The film's sweeping musical score by James Horner and the theme song My Heart Will Go On, performed by Celine Dion, became cultural landmarks in their own right. The production of Titanic was nearly as ambitious as the story it told. Cameron constructed enormous ship sets in Baja California, Mexico, including a near full-scale recreation of the Titanic's exterior. The director also conducted multiple expeditions to the actual Titanic wreck site, and footage from those dives was incorporated into the film. Kate Winslet performed many of her own water scenes and reportedly suffered pneumonia during filming due to the demanding conditions. One famous behind-the-scenes fact is that the nude portrait of Rose seen in the movie was actually drawn by James Cameron himself, and the hands seen sketching on screen belonged to him. Another iconic moment, Jack shouted, "I'm the king of the world" from the bow of the ship, was improvised during production and became one of the most recognizable movie quotes ever. The legacy of Titanic is difficult to overstate. Beyond its financial success, it demonstrated that audiences would embrace a 3-hour film that they were emotionally invested in the story. It helped establish Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet as international superstars and inspired renewed public interest in the real Titanic disaster, maritime archaeology, and historical preservation. The film also raised the bar for visual effects and large-scale filmmaking, influencing countless blockbusters that followed. Nearly 30 years later, Titanic remains one of the most successful, influential, and beloved films ever made, frequently appearing on lists of the greatest epic romances and disaster films in cinema history.
Quite a history on that movie. There's a lot to this movie being made,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
There sure is.
I want to add just a couple small things that I was surprised to find out about. That it went so far over budget that James Cameron actually forfeited his $8 million fee, or what we'd call his,
His pay.
his pay for the movie itself. So he basically kind of did the movie for free.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously with the back end and after what it made,
Oh.
he got paid back.
Mm.
But he said, look, take the $8 million you're going to pay me and just put it towards the movie, which is real crazy if you think about it. It's kind of cool. But he actually visited the Titanic himself 33 times with his thing.
Wow.
It's Cameron had spent better part of 30 years chasing the story of the Titanic, and he ended up becoming one of the world's most experienced deep sea explorers just because of it. And there's a lot of, and the camera technology and stuff has actually become part of what they use now when they look for shipwrecks of the stuff that they designed in order to get filming done and do the stuff that they did for this movie, which is actually really wild if you think about it.
Wow.
There's one more behind the scenes story that did you guys know about? Someone spiked the clam chowder during the filming of the Titanic. Yep, I wrote it down right here. Someone spiked the clam chowder. Someone put PCP into a pot of the clam chowder that was served to the cast and crew. Dozens of people were taken to the hospital, and to this day, they still have no idea who did it.
Oh my God.
But including your lead 2 stars, they've even said it in some interviews. Yeah, someone played a real bad prank and drugged everybody on the set of this movie.
Oh,
Isn't that
my
wild?
gosh.
It's one of the most wild facts about movies that out there, like on set. Isn't that crazy to think?
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of scary.
Oh yeah, to not know what was wrong, it is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mom, would you do us the honor
Crazy.
of reading the official synopsis of the film?
Yeah. A young aristocrat falls in love with a poor artist aboard the luxurious, ill-fated RMS Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to give you a quick little story outline real fast, just so we can jump into our favorite stuff and kind of just reminisce about this movie. In 1996, treasure hunter Brock Lovett searches for the wreck of the RMS Titanic for the priceless Heart of the Ocean diamond. After discovering a drawing of a young woman wearing the necklace, he is contacted by a 101-year-old Rose Calvert. Yep. Who reveals that she is the woman in the sketch and begins recounting her experiences aboard the Titanic in 1912. As a young first-class passenger, Rose DeWitt Bukater, her last name, guys, it's so hard. I think we had it the first time right.
Yeah.
But anyways, feels trapped by her engagement to wealthy Cal Hockley and the financial pressures of her family. Her life changes when she meets Jack Dawson, a free-spirited third-class artist who saves her from a suicide attempt. Despite the social barriers between them, Jack and Rose fall deeply in love during the ship's maiden voyage. Their romance is cut short when the Titanic strikes an iceberg and begins to sink. Cal frames Jack for theft, but Rose frees him as chaos spreads across the ship. Together they struggle to survive while lifeboats depart and the ship breaks apart in the freezing Atlantic. Jack sacrifices his own life to keep Rose alive, urging her to live a full life and never give up. Rescued by the RMS Carpathia, Rose adopts Jack's surname and starts a new life inspired by his spirit. In the present day, she reveals that she had possessed the whole of the ocean all along and quietly drops it into the ocean above the Titanic's wreck, bringing her story and her connection to Jack to a peaceful close. That is pretty much the gist of the film.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I remember back when this movie first came out, how many times did we try to go see it, Mom? Because I specifically remember walking up to the doors in Geneseo and you and Dad seeing it. It would say right on the doors, they put a sticker up on it that said sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was it where was the first time we ended up seeing it? Wasn't it at
Warsaw.
the drive-in? Or was it in Warsaw?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought so.
Yep.
And then how many times at the drive-in did we go see it? At least 3, I could think of.
I think I've seen it in a theater 12 times.
Wow.
In the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Wherever
Yeah.
it played, I went.
Yeah, because it played for almost 2 years, that movie in
Yeah.
theaters did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took all
It was
different kinds
wild.
of people. Good friends, church friends, neighbor. Somebody say, "I'd like to go see it." I'll say, "I go with you."
Yeah, when
And
a
I
movie
just
strikes you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you saw it, Sammy? Because I know you were this was a long time ago for you, so
Well, I didn't see it in the theater at all. I saw it at home here. I'm trying to remember when the first time was. I had to have been in middle school, I want to say. When I actually remember seeing it. I'm sure you've played it before that because I remember periodically throughout my childhood, this film was always one that was just we had them on VHS. And anyone who remembers VHS, those big black long things that go inside a VHS player, just for your youngins that don't know what even a DVD is anymore. And it was that big of a movie. There was a 2-pack VHS, big fat box there. And I remember that always being played. I know we have it somewhere in this house still because that's one of those we just kept when we got rid of everything. So, yeah, I remember you playing it off and on periodically throughout my childhood. And so I always knew of the story. It was in 7th or 8th grade, I actually my whole class in school was supposed to take a piece of the Titanic and do like a project of it. So some kids would get the exterior, some would get exactly what happened, some would get the boiler room and all that. And I think I got one piece of like the interior of like the dining hall or something I had to lay out. And I remember watching this movie 2 or 3 times just to get a good picture of it at that point. And yeah. So that's my earliest memories of watching this film.
yeah. I don't know what my fascination with it is. When I say with it, I mean with Titanic in general. I am a fanatic about the Titanic and its sinking for some reason. To this day, I've prescribed or prescribed to like it's medicine. I subscribe to at least 3 different podcasts that are purely talks about Titanic history. I probably listen to hours and hours of like right now. There's a podcast on. I cannot remember their name for the life of me, or I tell you right now. We'll put it in the comments below. Um, that it's literally they're taking like all the passengers that they have the names of, and the podcast is just each episode doing a background on each passenger and where they were on the boat, and some of them they didn't know, some they did know. There was some they have a lot about, so some they don't they have very little about. In fact, one of the things I found funny, I found out from that, not funny, but one of the really creepy, strange facts about the Titanic is the hundreds of people died there, but there's still some that are unidentified. That like some of the graves that they have in Nova Scotia are actually they just say unknown passenger or unknown child.
Mm.
You know, like when they found the Titanic on the ocean floor in the 90s, like when they actually discovered it, they expected to see like skeletons of people that had floated down, but they saw none of that. All they saw were shoes of where these bodies had laid. And the guy, he described it as like a graveyard of shoes. And so how do you identify people, especially if you're third class and you got on that boat and it was just a signature you probably couldn't read that you probably took with you while you were on the boat? I mean, it's quite amazing. Little stuff like that I found and you don't think about, you know, and I've always thought, you know, it's not like the worst disaster that's happened in the world, but it is one of those that it just, for some reason, captures your imagination of what it could have been like. Because there was no telephones, there's no photos. You know, I mean, there's so many things that are like so unknown that makes it so interesting. That I think that's why. And then when you really look into how scary that night was, you know, the movie doesn't do that part of it justice. If I had to say anything wrong with this movie, is you can see everything, and it's big spectacle, and it's cool, and it's awesome that way, and the drama and the scariness of it happening is still there, but in reality it was like double the scary because when the lights go out on that ship when it's hanging up in the air and the power finally goes out. You know, in the movie, we can't just not see it, right? You have to be able to watch and see what's going to happen. In reality, though, it was so dark in the Atlantic Ocean. There was no moon that night. It was a new moon that when the lights went out in that thing, you don't see anything. So if you put yourself in the position of these people sitting in these lifeboats, watching this boat turn off, all you hear is metal and it breaking. I mean, that's why the accounts of it breaking in half are real hard to know exactly how it broke in half, because nobody could see it doing it. Like there are people that they could see the shape of it. They were close enough to understand that's what was happening, or maybe the silhouette they could see. But when the lights went out in that thing, it's like closing your eyes and all you hear is a ship sinking and people screaming. That's how dark it was. And that's actually, if you think about it, that's the movie
Scary.
can't do they can't do that for the film. It's be a terrible movie, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you start thinking in real life, you really put yourself there. Yeah, that's terrifying. I mean, I'm not gonna go on and on, but I just found out that there was a whole lifeboat of 30 people that the lifeboat had capsized over. So the bottom of it was up and the air underneath was keeping it floating. But 30 people were standing on top of this lifeboat and they stood there for 5 hours. As they died, they would fall off, and people that were holding on to the sides would climb up and take their place. And every time a wave come, they'd say, "Okay, move," and they'd all move with the boat, so it wouldn't flip back over, so they could stay out of the water for 5 hours. Like there's so many little stories of, the movie almost can't do it justice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so much, not that the movie fails at that. It's because it doesn't fail because of it. But what a hard movie to make over something that there's countless amounts of things that you could talk about with what went on in this thing, But that's why I'm so fascinated. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this movie got me fascinated. I can't remember the first time Titanic came into my little young mind where I was just so interested in what happened out there, and
Well,
I don't know. Do you remember when it really struck you, or was it the movie that was the thing that was like the catalyst of it? But I don't know what it was for me. It's not like we were growing up with stories about it or anything, I just,
Yeah, I think for me, I had heard stories about it. I had read the book, The Night to Remember,
yeah.
in high school. But when the movie came out, it made it all real.
Mm,
All the things you had read or had heard about, all of a sudden you're seeing it happen in front of you. The mammoth size of the Titanic, I think, is what struck me by. I knew it was big, and it talks about it being huge, but that movie, the
mm,
way they capture side glimpses of it, and as it moves through the water and boats beside it, and
yeah.
yeah, was overwhelmed. But you're just mesmerized by it, and there's a love story involved for us women. To love stories, it was an incredible real reality
Yeah.
of something I'd known about.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, this movie, that's one thing that when I do any traveling again and I go back down, I went to Tennessee only one time in my life, but that I'd like to go to the Titanic Museum
Yeah.
that's in Tennessee, where I believe they have some pieces of the ship they were able to recover. They haven't been able to fully recover most of the Titanic itself just because of where it is.
Well, and a lot of it is the people that own it won't let them, because the maritime laws, if you are the owner of it, you have the right to say leave the wreckage or not. And they get permission every time. Like if anything they have brought up has gone through several court cases in order for that to happen. And not that they sue for it to happen, but it's about permission and this and that.
Yeah.
Then they finally get it, or we would see a lot more of the ship brought up. It's unfortunate too. There's things of it I wish they would bring up. I wish they would have saved the propellers at the time. That'd be neat to see in a museum. It'd be unique to see some of the stuff that now it's just slowly disintegrating away down there, pretty much.
yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
it's pretty wild if you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised with DNA testing that they can't take soil samples.
Oh yeah, who
But
knows?
it's probably
I think I think we need someone with scientific knowledge to tell us what, at that kind of depth with that kind of cold, what there would be of left,
yeah.
and you got to think of all the critters and things, that would be interesting to know, to
Yeah.
see what they could do,
Mhm.
but they can't bring nothing up.
Well, they
without
gotta have a
permission.
match anyways, so I mean,
Yeah, there's got to be a match.
yeah, so
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
it is. It is.
I've always wanted to go to the graveyard in Nova Scotia, and I've always wanted to take that little cruise they have where you can go out and they do like a ceremony over I think it would be surreal to be on a boat in the spot where it sank. I could only imagine. Like they do it right at night and everything to give you that, understand the feel where it's nice and cold. And of course, now it's a little different. There's no icebergs there now, but still be very surreal to
It's
be.
still pretty cold, yeah.
Yeah, or just to know this happened right here.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know, like that'd be wild. There's something about being in a place when it's happened, you know. You
Mhm.
can feel it almost. And they say to this day there's people that say they hear strange in that area. They've heard like SOS signals that just are they show up and they're gone like that.
Huh.
And they always think it's like a weird there's a ghost stories. There's tons of ghost stories about Titanic. I'm sure it's all just crazy stuff, but that's how big of a that's how big of a deal it is though. Even to maritime guys when today they even talk about
Mm.
the possibility of that stuff being weird, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Oh my. Well, I I don't even know where to begin when we start talking about this mammoth of a movie of a
Yeah.
historical thing, but we usually at this point we'll just jump into what we thought about the cast that they selected and their performances. Are there any that stand out to us? Some that are surprising, some that you thought that could have been done better? I mean, when we get to these type of movies, guys, like we did with Shawshank Redemption, we're reviewing these amazing movies that
Yeah.
have stood the test of time at this point now on how great they are. So we might not get into too many of weakest cast performances, to be honest. But um, Mom, why don't you start us off? Is there any performance you would either describe as the best performance or the one that stuck out to you the most
Hmm.
of any of the characters? Or um, what did you think of the two main people that we had?
Oh, I thought they were great. Kathy Bates is still one of my favorite actresses, so, she's kind of she's a little older than I am, but I thought her role was great. I liked the captain of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did I loved every time he came around, he was involved, I liked him. Um, actually, the husband to be, the rich gentleman that had Rose under his thumb, he did a good job. He really did a good job in that role.
Mm-hmm.
You have to that's quite a role to have to play, and I thought he
Yeah.
did a great job. That he had an air about him through the whole movie that made you realize that he thought he was pretty good stuff.
Mhm.
He was top notch, and he was gonna let everybody know. So, yeah, um, those are probably my favorites.
It's funny you bring up the captain too, because he's interesting. I like his character in this, and the actor's great. Uh, the real life captain, for the movie, they had him go into that room and he closed, which is one of the most amazing scenes in the
Yep,
movie.
yep,
It's kind of surreal if you think about it.
it is.
In real life, though, they really don't know what he did. They don't know
No,
where he
but they
went.
have
But
pictures of him, and they look very similar.
yeah, it looks like they pulled him right out of the photo,
Yes,
doesn't it?
yeah, yep,
Like
yep.
the actor just plays him well. You
Yeah,
know, it's
he
like
does, he does.
for a small part, you really get who this guy is right
Yeah,
away.
yep,
You know,
yep.
yeah,
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's when I was doing my research for the movie after watching it and things like that recently, and come to see all the different actors and actresses that they were tapping to play Jack and Rose, it's hard for me to imagine after watching this movie anyone else but these two actors
mm,
playing it. Their chemistry together was amazing. Their performances were really good. It really launched Leonardo DiCaprio to superstardom. This movie in particular. Um, and he already was a rising star, and Kate Winslet was too. But there are some people like Gwyneth Paltrow was apparently in the runnings to play Kate. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, they were in the runnings to play Jack. It's just some of these people that we know of them now, of course, and they're huge names. But I can't picture these guys after seeing what Leonardo and Kate brought to the table for
yeah,
this. And these, from my understanding, the love story is a fictional part of the whole thing, right? It's Jack Dawson wasn't a real
no,
person in life, and um Rose wasn't real either, but they used this fictional love story to tell the story of the Titanic and the life on the Titanic. Like, even though they weren't real people that did that stuff, there were people really that did that stuff there with some of the best scenes, like everyone in the bottom of the ship doing the Irish jigs and all that
hmm
stuff. And then
hmm
you had the upper class people that are hoity-toities or like four different types of fork and no one knows what to do. Like it really they became like our audience view into the Titanic. And then they just told, in doing that, really well written, good job, James Cameron, really well written love story of these two characters meeting, and every bit of it is so good. So good.
Yeah, my best performance is going to go to Billy Zane as the Kale, as the bad, as her husband to be. Over the years of watching this movie, I always, when I think back to the first time you watch it, he's just your typical bad guy. And you almost kind of roll your eyes at him like, really, this guy with his crap. But I've come to really not understand him, but because he's an awful human being. But like, what a role that he played in that. Because what comes off is like your typical, pretentious kind of rich idiot, that just thinks he's full of himself. I feel like he puts a lot of dimension to the character because he's not really evil. He's just a product of his own environment that he's from. And there's moments in this movie where the pretentious is given that okay, he's always going to be like this, but he is sincere when he's sincere. And I think that that's unique to play that role. When you watching him, like when he's talking to her, when he gives her the necklace, that specific scene, he's being sincere with her. There's nothing for him to gain by having Rose other than she's pretty and he's got her and he owns her. But it's not like he needs her to be who he's going to be. As you go through this movie, you find out that it's the other way around. They need him because, like the mom said, we're done. Your father ruined us. If not for you marrying this guy, we'd go back. You want me to go back to being poor? You want me to live that way?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, so it's not him that's, owning this woman and taking her inheritance. It's the other way around. And I do think he loves her in his own weird ownership way. When he gets mad, he throws the table. Like, he has moments of this is a real person with real feelings and what's really happening. He's just a pretentious prick. You know what I mean? Like, but he plays that's the environment that he's grown up in. That's who he is to his core. And Billy, I think, just plays it like so well, where it's not over the top, but it's just enough where you see it, and you can feel that it feels authentically real. He could easily be that pretentious, twirling his mustache villain, but he's not. Like he pulls back a little bit on it, and that scene when he's standing at the boat and the guy comes up to him and says, "Yeah, she's with him right now on the other side of the boat," and the guy says, "Don't we have an arrangement?" And he can't leave, knowing that that he can't have her. Like he literally walks away from a seat on a boat to get off this sinking ship. Like there's moments of the actual, there's a person there, and I think he gets. I think it's Oscar worthy. I think it's that good. I think he was the best of the year. I think he kills it. There's other movies that I've seen him in that you don't see this side of him. Even other movies when he plays a bad guy. I introduced you to one of his not too long ago. We were watching over at Grandma's house. Do you remember the name of that? I can't remember where he took over that woman's boat, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Some crazy, awesome 90s thriller movie. But he's great in that as a real bad guy. But you see now, and when you see them there and you see him in this, you're like, oh, this guy's got depth to him that he brings to this role that I really do think it's overshadowed a lot. That people, they think about everything else too much, and they pass over this as, oh, this is a pretentious bad guy. He's not really. Some people say it's annoying, and I don't know. I just disagree. I don't think this movie has that emotional punch when it comes down to their relationship without him being that other part of it. Personally, but that's With that said, to me, the weakest performance of the movie, which is still good performance, but the one that just kind of is like there, is his bodyguard guy. What's his name? They called him Spencer Lovejoy or whatever. It's a weird name, It's like and this guy is just kind of, what is he? An ex-cop that's just like a thug, like that works for him. You must pay him good because this guy acts like he owes him his life.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd have been on that boat. You want to go get her? Fine. See, I'm going to sit down. You know what I mean? He follows him like and to his death, basically. And it's like that guy. Who is that guy? I don't know. If there's any character that falls short for me, it's him. Because he's fun and he serves it right, and it's a great guy when they're running away from him in the boat, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which we'll get to later. But himself, though, there's really not much there. You know, I don't really understand that guy, what he's all about. That could have been just some guy. It didn't need to be this guy that was some mysterious, used to be a cop, now he's a thug. You know what I mean? It's like, it kind of adds to that bad guy part of it that makes you go, that's maybe not feel necessary, but it doesn't hurt the movie at all.
I agree with you. Billy Zane, he's a good actor. I think I've seen him in something else other than this, but I don't recall. I had the privilege of meeting him at a comic convention
I'm so
2 years
jealous.
ago. Yeah, and it's funny. I went there, and when we prepare to go to these comic conventions, we have like 5 people we want to actually see, get autographs, do the whole 9 yards thing, all that. And he was just sitting. I think his wife was next to him, so I believe she's an actress too, right?
I'm not sure who he's married to, but
I'm not
maybe.
sure. I thought that was his wife next to him, but anyways, he's just sitting at this table, and there's a big Titanic sign, or the poster right there, and then it has his name, and I'm thinking, who is that again? And I see him, I'm like, he looks just like he did in the movie. Just a little silver in his hair,
Yeah.
still looks handsome, still just sitting there, and he is so sweet to talk to. All I did was just say hi, because I'm not like a super fan, but I appreciate his work, and I just said hi, and he would be someone that would be really cool to meet. For you.
Oh, I would have told him right out. I would have been like, sir, you should have got an Oscar for that role. I would have made sure he understood that I see how good you did there. Like,
yeah.
Because I think he is proud of it, but no one,
Mm-hmm.
and no one really knows him other than this. He doesn't do a lot of stuff. Truthfully, he hasn't been in a ton of things, so his other best role is in Tombstone with Kurt Russell. And he plays an actor in there that gets murdered by one of the Cowboy Clan guys, and he's just really good in it. Like the guy's a great actor.
So
yeah, any casting, like to me, it kind of brings me to like we kind of talked, like Mom had already said, some of the casting wins. The ones that really stand out to me is I like the guy who they cast as not only the captain, but I like the first officer and the second officer.
Yeah.
I think those guys were casted real well, very believable. And same with the Ismay there, the guy who was the White Star Line, they're like advertisement guy. And the guy who built the ship.
Yeah,
I
the
like that
architect.
guy. Yeah. And they even gave him his Irish accent because it was built in Ireland. So he would be an Irish guy that was running the whole thing. And I think those all casted real well.
Yeah, he was so good. And to go back to what you were talking about, Mom, I know you'll elaborate a little bit more on this, but Kathy Bates, she is a scene sealer. Like, she is so good at this. It's hard for me to picture, and she would have done a fantastic job had it all worked out in her favor. But Reba McEntire was up for that role. And then she had to turn it down because of a scheduling conflict with her band and going on tour, which ultimately that was a rough year for her anyways, Reba McEntire, because
her band was killed in that plane crash. That probably wouldn't have happened if she'd been on that movie set. Yeah.
But regardless of what happens,
I didn't know that.
To poor Reba there, Kathy Bates, what an actress.
In everything she does.
I can't picture anyone else doing that.
Me either. No. The unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's and I wonder if that was a real person.
It was.
Yeah, so yeah, I bet she was quite the hoot.
That was her second ship she was on that sank that she survived.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the other one had a lot more help. It wasn't as dire as the Titanic.
Huh.
That's how she got that nickname.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
well, I wonder if she ever went out again. I bet she did.
I probably not. I think I would not. I wouldn't even get in the pond.
No.
Like, don't even give me a rowboat. I'm not doing this.
No.
It's done with water.
And that actually is another unique fact about Titanic. The movie does do this and it's not correct, but it was never advertised as unsinkable. All the times they talked about it in the movie, they said, oh, it's unsinkable, it'll never sink, and it's in the paper and all that. That's actually not true. It was never advertised that way.
So answer me this then. If it wasn't advertised that way, was the saying, even God couldn't sink the ship, was that purely in the movie? Or that was... Oh, okay. That's made me have a really big change of thought there. Wow, because part of me is like,
Yep.
don't mess with God, y'all. But anyways.
I mean, the consensus was, I mean, look at this thing. It's not going to sink. But it wasn't like the deal they made it sound. That's very just dramatized for the film. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine her playing
No.
anyone else playing that. But the fact that she gives Jack the clothes from her son, like to
Yeah.
wear,
Yeah. Oh, that
it's
was
perfect. You
yeah.
know? And she gets him because she comes from nothing first,
Yeah.
and then earned her
Yeah,
money.
she's new money.
Yeah, that's right. She's new money. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's different. She's new money. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all the ladies are like, let's stand up and leave because she's coming. She'd be like, oh, I need the gossip. We'll go outside and talk then. We're like, can't get rid of her. Then who want to get rid of Kathy Bates? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, what? Those ladies are crazy. Any casting wins of all of them, or any misses that you feel like with?
No, I can't think of one person in this movie that was miscast.
No, me either.
You know, I right down to the guys playing the music to the
Yeah.
old people
I
laying
love
in the
the
bed.
orchestra people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think everybody had their role and they knew what to do. I have never been a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan until of recent. So like to me, I say this and I don't mean it. Like I've always been kind of like, yeah, anyone could have played Jack, but I don't think that's true. I think he needed to play that role, and I think it's a good role for him. Um, I just didn't become a Leo fan until his later movies. There's a mid part of his time where I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care about what you do, buddy. But as he's gotten older, he's made better choices about his films, and to me, he's a much better actor. So to me, and same with her. I don't really know her that well, honestly, at the time, but obviously now seeing it like this, it's like, I mean, their chemistry together is fantastic, and they've kept a relationship, like a friendship, this whole time. So, but I can't think of anyone that was miscast.
No.
Or
Yeah. No, this is that good of a movie, guys.
Yeah.
If for some crazy reason, if you're listening to this or watching us on YouTube and you haven't seen this movie,
Can't be.
you better
Yeah, then-
go and
yeah.
watch it. It's on Paramount Plus right now as we speak. So,
and any naysayers, it's just a love. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's more than that, and if it is the love story, really, if you're gonna come down on it like that, then hey, right, there's nothing wrong with that. Even casting down to the guy at the end, the one who was the third officer or whatever, who was you calling out for anybody alive out there.
Yeah,
It's
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
himself. It's like the guy comes out of nowhere, right? Like it's
Yeah, I'm like, holy smokes!
yeah.
Reed Richards is here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And I'm glad Reba didn't play that role. She needed to. I liked her in Tremors. That's more her style, not this. I liked her with a gun shooting worms underground, giant dinosaur worms. She don't need to be on a boat that's sinking.
Yeah. Well, we'll review that movie sometime, guys,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's a good movie. But yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't think, for me, I'm a Reba fan anyways myself. I love her music and things like that, and we've been to one of her concerts before, you and I, Mom. I wouldn't have been like upset if she was in it, but Kathy Bates, I'm glad that was who they got.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah, you listed all these people they were looking at, but all in all, they chose the best.
Yeah, they did. It worked out for them. Yeah.
All right. So, before we move on to the directing style, is there anything, and Ike, you might have a little bit more in tune to this, knowing a little bit more of the history of the Titanic itself, but is there any missed opportunities or wasted potential you feel like they could have done in this movie differently?
Yeah, no, you know what? I don't have anything for this. And why I say that is because even though there's a few other little tidbits that they did wrong or got wrong, but I don't feel like they needed to get them right either. I don't have anything because it's hard to find any time there's any moment in this film that I might sit back and say, that could do without that. I go, yeah, but then it wouldn't be this, and that's the problem with this movie. It's not a problem, but like,
Yeah, is that
all the moments are worth it in the long run. When you get to the end, you don't feel like you wasted any time, and
yeah.
I would say if there was 10 minutes more and stuff, it may have been too long. I think this
Yeah.
movie hits that mark like almost dead on.
Yeah.
When some movies you could go 10 more minutes. Like I could have went 10 more minutes with Shawshank. You could have given me 10 more minutes. I
Yeah.
would have been fine with that. With this though, it's like, no, that's perfect right there, you know? But it also has that kind of ending though.
Yeah.
Where it ends in a moment of like this, that's an ending. And that's something I love about this movie is I like snappy endings. I like endings that there's like a bow tied on it, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they end quick or just when it comes around the corner and you see them all there and Jack's there and the camera spirals up to the light and then boom, and it just ends. Like, yes, that's how this movie needs to end right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's yeah, there's nothing I can think of. I mean,
Yeah.
even though like I said, there's a couple things I'll mention as we go through that they did wrong with something or what they shouldn't have done, but like it's not necessarily changes the movie at all though. Like it
Yeah.
makes it worth it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think overall, this movie did a great job of portraying the Titanic and showing off what happened to it enough where if there's one or two little details on how exactly it broke down
Yeah.
or how it was supposed to look on this part versus another, that's very overshadowed and kind of insignificant compared to the movie at large of what you saw.
Yeah.
There wasn't like such a drastic change to the boat of the Titanic where people would have been a little upset over it.
No. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the direction and the production of this film. Mom, what did you think of James Cameron's direction style and his vision for this film?
Oh, I thought it was great. He mixed the historical size, the beauty of the boat with a love story he made up to go along with it, or someone made up to go along with it. I thought it was
Yeah.
a good mix. It gave you historically, gave you that feel of seeing that ship personally, and then you fall in love with the movie, the what's going on the boat. It's kind of cool. Church scene, their dinner scenes, the music, all the wood. Yeah, yeah.
His attention to detail is
Is
astounding.
perfect for it. Yeah, and they say it matches a lot of
Yeah.
when that boat is sinking or making its plunging and all the dishes and stuff come tumbling down, you're getting to see patterns and, how beautiful that boat was, and they said it was that beautiful, so
Mhm.
I thought he did a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything about the movie that I would change.
Yeah.
I can watch it right now again, like I did the first time, and I love the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Oh.
got beautiful music to it.
Oh yeah, well, that's one of our next coming up spots. Ike, what did you think of James Cameron's direction?
Yeah, I echo everything Mom just said. I mean, this is one of the best filmmakers of all time. I mean, Terminator 2, The Abyss. This guy's made great stuff. I just wish he'd stop making these Avatar movies. Like, I mean, I'm not, I get people love him. I understand it. I want James Cameron to do something that's not Blue Aliens, like come back and do something new and inventive. And I know he's doing that with those movies too, but they're just, oh man, I don't know. You're wasting your time, sir. Like you make some amazing movies. Like don't make your last 10 years of your life be 10 Avatar movies. Like give us another Titanic of some sorts, like I want to see him do some space shuttle like disaster or just something. I don't know. Like this guy's went from killer robots to aliens underwater to to Titanic to now 10 movies of Avatar, which is the same thing over and over again. It's Ferngully and Pocahontas, all over and over again. It's like I get it. I'm not a lover of those movies, obviously, but like I just wish he'd come back and really do something, blow our minds. Like with all the stuff, I'd love to see him do a movie about the events of 9/11. Could you imagine a James Cameron movie about? I mean, why not? Like I
There's
just.
enough footage
Oh gosh, yeah. There's so much you could
to get
use.
accuracy,
Yeah, and or just the things that happened during that, that yeah, I think that would be. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
This movie makes me feel sad. I feel like we've lost a director to a genre, unfortunately. So
Yeah, well, the cinematography and the visuals of this movie, so good.
yeah,
I mean, I didn't even realize that until we did that history breakdown at the beginning of this, that not only did he visit the wreckage of the ship in production of this movie to get as much accuracy, but he used any footage they were able to get from underwater and incorporated it into the movie. So for the whole world, that was the first time they were seeing
Some people, yeah.
the actual Titanic itself, you know? And then it's so great for the accuracy of it. He used what he saw there and repurposed it into this is how I would have imagined it looked like. You know, if it wasn't underwater and if it was upright and, back in 1912 and everything. It was something. And then I didn't know he could draw so well. I didn't know that was him drawing that stuff. This guy,
He's a talented fella.
holy smokes.
Yeah.
Like, I have a whole other level of respect for you, sir. That is amazing.
Yeah, just get away from Avatar. Can you imagine a Marvel movie by him?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, the action and the editing quality, very good. I think that I feel like I could speak for all of us to say that held up really well for the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. When you talk about the visual cinematography, action, and CGI, I'm going to bunch that all into one. He brought the boat to life. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the boat's a character
Yeah.
when you're watching it, right? It almost feels like there's times where you're in love with the boat,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's times where the boat kind of feels like a killer that's about to kill them all. You know what I mean? Like, the boat gets scary at some point, obviously because it's sinking and all that, but you realize how, it does become that thing that's like like a slasher kind of movie kind of feel to it, like, I don't know how to explain that, but he does a great job at making that boat feel like this story's taking place on this thing, but you almost feel you're on something living. Like, the boat is almost like a character of its own just because they're there. All these big shots of it going through the water and the glide and stuff, and all the shots of while it's sinking, you're invested in that character of the vessel itself.
Yeah.
And it turns on you like it does the people, like in that way. It's kind of like its own. It's kind of the real villain of the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the CGI, for whatever CGI they did use of this movie, which obviously there is some.
It's dated a little, but it works.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not dated to the point where you're like, that's awful.
Yeah, it's not unwatchable. It's still, because you know what's happening, and you're just in the heat of the moment there for whenever they do use the CGI for the people, the falling, the debris, things like that.
Right. Yeah.
I'd say the CGI at night still holds up way better, though. Like, the daytime shots of the CGI, you can be like, it looks a little Lord of the Rings kind of. It holds up, but you can tell it's a little dated. But all the night stuff, I think it looks like it's almost like they made it like today.
Huh.
To me, I feel like the CGI at night holds up real well.
Yeah. All right. So, Mom, why don't you talk to us a little bit about, you mentioned it before, the score and the music of the movie.
I'm so sleepy, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. So I'm yawning. Like I said, it's just beautiful, beautiful orchestra. I don't know who wrote the music for it, but they did a great job.
Yeah, James Horner is the same who did like Braveheart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when the ship is sinking, that music that they're playing, you can feel your heart race. You feel like you're getting wet, from the So yeah, and I love the when you talk about music, I love the players that kept playing. That to me, those are some of the best scenes. So
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. I echo that. The theme song that in its own has become like career defining for Celine Dion, and that she did that whole song in one take when she got into the studio. She just did it one time, and they said, "That's it. We don't need any more takes." That was perfect. It was just the instrumental, even of course, beautiful words, all that stuff, and she did a great job. But that instrumental playing throughout the whole film, there's just some emotions there, feelings when you listen to that. It's like that could be a soundtrack of our life. It's so good.
Well, it feels meant to be.
Yes.
Like, when you think Titanic, it's like, oh, that's what it sounded like, right? Like,
It's
almost like it was like playing all the time, right? Like, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're gonna go on to some hot takes of the film, and I'll let Ike start off with his, then we'll work our way over to me.
Yeah, I got a couple I want to get your guys' opinion on. So, is it just me, or do you guys think Rose dies at the end? How do you interpret this
Oh,
at the
I don't
end?
think she dies.
You guys think
Well, she's
that's her
101,
dying?
so she's not going to be around much longer, anyways. But I never thought when she fell asleep there too, she was dying.
I always thought it was her dying.
Yeah, that's funny. I've heard other people say that, but I did never.
I take it as like they pan across the thing. You see, she did all these things that he told her.
Yep.
Promise me you do how they talked about riding the horse. You see all these things they talked about, have kids, meet somebody. She did all that stuff. And as she kind of closes her eyes in the bed, I feel like that her dreaming about going there, if you notice when she's there, everyone she sees is people that's dead, that died when they were there. Like they all look like they did when they were on the Titanic when they died.
Huh.
They're all, and there he is top of the stairs, young.
I never
like
draw
he
that.
did, and it's like she reaches her hand out, and here she is, young like him, almost like when she died, she went back to the happiest part of her life, and that's like where she went to be, like she's meant to be with him in that area. That's where she's chose to be in a way. I've always interpreted it as that's her passing away on that boat.
That's funny. I never thought about it that way.
But I can easily see that. That makes sense why she's in a wedding dress, because she wanted to marry him.
That's right.
Like there was they look exactly like they did.
It's all back to right where how they looked when they passed away when they died on that boat.
It also could be just a dream that she's always had too. So I can see that part. But I can agree with you there. I think that's a pretty good hot take or a pretty good opinion on that.
Probably my biggest hot take though is I think Jack had to die.
Oh,
not just historically, because it doesn't matter. I don't care if they change little things here and there, but Jack had to die. I don't think their relationship would have worked. I think this movie isn't as much about her falling in love with the wrong person or being with the right or wrong person as it is about her having to be her own person.
Yes.
And she wasn't going to be happy with Cal because Cal's Cal, right? She'd been fine with him. He had taken care of her his whole life. I mean, she had never went without. But the first weekend that her and Jack sleep under a bridge because he has no money is a different story. It's romantic now, but it's not later. I don't think that lasts the way she thinks it lasts in her head. I think that they could find.
He was an escape.
100%. And I'm not saying they would have hated each other. I'm not saying they weren't good for each other. There wouldn't have been some real heavy, hot romance there for sure. But her life would not have been the same.
No.
And you can't take her that young age going from living rich her whole life to now living with a guy who's literally, like he said, I was sleeping on a park bench the other day. Like, what's there for her, you know? Not that I understand love has no boundaries. Okay, I get it. But guys, let's all be realistic here, you know? The first night that they're sleeping in some cold park bench, you know, and after they survive the Titanic, she's gonna be, when are you gonna get your shit together, Jack? Like, get a job. You know, and he's not gonna be like that. Do you think he's gonna change his life as a guy who's a nomad? That he loves this. You know, she'd have to fall in love with his lifestyle, not just him.
Yeah.
And she fell in love with him for sure. But his lifestyle is not what she's ready for. He had to die.
No, and at the end when he's looking for her, when Cal's looking for her on the boat, and they said not to come here, this is where steerage is. That would have been her opportunity to have turned and said, I made it.
Yeah.
She knew then.
She couldn't be with either of them.
No, she knew then she had to be her.
That's right.
For the first time.
Yep.
Not even with mom.
Yep.
And she didn't want to be the responsibility, have the responsibility of making her mom's life better either.
That's right. Yep.
So she once she lets go of him and knows he's dead, I think she knew that.
Yeah, this movie's more about her independence than it is the actual
the breaking
love story.
free of the chains of that whole relationship. Because she could have, if she just wanted life to be comfortable.
She was fine with Cal.
She
would have been fine with him.
But she hid.
Because she had a side of her, too, that was just as pretentious.
Yeah.
You heard her. She had all these paintings she's buying. She had a part of her that was like, you don't just walk away from that easily just because it's romantic at first.
Yeah.
But then reality hits and you still want a little bit of the way you want to live, which is what she got in the long run. Met a nice man, had a bunch of kids, lived her life happier. She learned not to be pretentious, but she also learned that you need to be somebody and not not Jack either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's
a very good hot take. Actually, I really agree with that.
It's sad that he dies, but he needed it.
Yeah,
He
and I know
couldn't,
the biggest internet hot take is, there was room for him on that what was it, that door.
Yeah, you know what's funny? They actually did a documentary not too long. Cameron himself did the documentary where they recreated the whole thing like they did on set. And could have Jack actually have been on the door? They actually did it's a whole hour-long special on HBO. And he still would have died. Actually, she may have died as well. Like you had to think that she had a life vest on. He didn't. If he was on the door, she would have, a percentage of her body would have been in the water. And the fact that she lived is because she was out of the water, which, I mean, and that's what kept her alive.
Yep.
So he was right by not getting on the door with her. Like, and the size of the door, the way they even use the same prop and everything.
The weights and everything.
You have to say there are two people that were almost identical to their size. You should watch it. You'd be fast. James Cameron does all, because he's like, let's give an answer to this once and for all.
Yeah.
The truth is he still would have died, and she probably would have died too. But she definitely lives if he's not on the door. So no, guys. Jack can't fit on the door. That's the final answer right there. I know when they ask Leo, he says, nah, no comment.
Yeah, they ask Kate too. They're like, you could have scooched over, right? And she doesn't. She's like, how do I answer this?
No, there is a science to it. And believe it or not, out of all the people that went into that water, only 3 survived out of the hundreds that went in. And the 3 that survived were mostly out of the water. And that's just the truth right there. Like, crazy as that is. So
that is. Do you have a hot take, Mom?
No, not really. No, everything you say said,
Yeah, I don't really have one either. My hot take actually was going to be about the comment of it being unsinkable and all that, but since that's been disproven throughout this segment, I really don't have a leg to stand on that. The only thing I'll say hot take about the movie for people who think that is real, and when they make the claim that even God himself couldn't sink this ship, I warn you not to challenge God that way. Just saying. It doesn't usually end well for you. Whether you believe or not, he has a way of letting you know.
That boat was so doomed. Like, it's just...
Be like, oh no, I wouldn't have gone on. If that was the slogan, be like, no, sorry, you've cursed this boat now.
Yeah. What's even more amazing is if they had just hit the iceberg head on, they would have survived. And they figured about 30 or 50 to 80 people would have died because it would have been the people that work on the boat would have been sleeping in the front parts, and that would have crushed in. So you probably would have lost. There would have been loss of life, but the boat would have it was made to do that.
Yep.
And come to find out, it was like 5 compartments of Titanic could fill of water and it would still stay afloat, but that 6th one is what did it. And the 2 holes the size of a piece of paper is what doomed that ship in 3 hours.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
During my research, I read that to Mamas. I'm like, did you know that if it had just not turned, it probably would have been okay? Like, people would have died because you're hitting an iceberg, but like, it wouldn't have broken, sunk, all those thousands upon thousands of people that are on that ship. Like,
they all been rescued,
Yeah, they've just been sitting there until a boat came forward to be able to take them away, Like,
with that said, they say it's still pretty amazing how fast they did turn. So if you think about it, they were literally feet away from.
So that's a good
possibly
question.
Nothing happening.
Was that true too in the movie in real life that they fired up that last boiler when they didn't need to try to make time?
No,
that was all in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bring that up as I got it as the least best scene.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll save that then until
there was no pressure on being early. It was all.
Okay.
It's a lot of that's dramatic too, but unfortunately.
Okay.
Made for good in the movie. I wouldn't change it because the movie's good with it, but real life, it was just they were just moving along. Well, what is true though is they did ignore some iceberg warnings, but that wasn't uncommon though either. Like a lot of them say, we don't see it, and that's just it. They relied. You got to think back then there was no radar.
Right.
Is people just telling you, hey, look, we went by a bunch of icebergs, watch out.
Yeah.
It's really all it was. You typed out in Morse code.
Yeah.
And then those two guys up in a little tower nest in the middle of the cold looking, and they didn't have binoculars. They left port with them still locked in the locker in the case on shore. So if they had binoculars, they may have been able to see it. But what's interesting about that night is it was a new moon, and it was calm, and it was ice cold. And if you've ever been driving down the road, it's the best way to explain it to everybody. When it's really hot out and you come up over a hill and you can see far away, you ever see that shimmer of the heat coming up off the road?
Yeah.
And it's almost like it looks like water.
Yep.
So that same mirage happens with water and when it's really cold. So you got to think, when these guys are sitting up in this nest looking out into the Pacific or into the Atlantic Ocean looking for icebergs, at a certain distance away, the water and the sky and what they're looking at is a mirage, and they don't see anything when it's right there. So this iceberg come out of nowhere because they come out of, like, if you're just going down the road and you see that little mirage and all of a sudden there's something behind it. That's exactly what happened to them. Or they would have seen it earlier and still had turned it, because they still could have seen that thing. Even, the icebergs do show up in pitch dark. There's like a darker silhouette. There's a light that comes off of them. The icebergs are weird. They are, you can see them kind of well, but not that night. That night was so oddly calm that you'd hear the water. There's a lot of different things that went into why it looked that way. When you look out and you can't tell what you're looking at, or they didn't realize that what they were looking at. It's the same thing that happened with the not the Carpathia, but there's another boat. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think I wrote it down, but there was a boat that was in eyesight of the Titanic after it hit the iceberg, which means they could have got there and gotten everybody off onto their boat, but they couldn't see it. All they saw were the lights of the white lights that they were shooting off as fireworks. And they said, oh, that must be a luxury liner that's having a party. So then they look in their binoculars and they don't see it on the horizon. So they don't see it sinking on the horizon because of that mirage effect that's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, they were doomed. Something was fated for that to just not work out. Like, as crazy as that sounds.
Oh my.
Yeah. I go deep, guys. I was doing so many podcasts on Titanic.
All right. So this next part, guys, we're gonna list some of our favorite scenes. If you want,
Yeah,
to list
I got
one
a
or
couple.
two, that's fine. But Mom, do you have one that sticks out to you?
You probably have a lot of the same ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's, from him winning the ticket, I just thought that was that poker game thing. I thought that was a cool. Just the image of the boat with the music as they scanned through it. Every time they did that, the dolphins, when they're out there, the ones people love where think they're flying. I never was that impressed with that, but
yeah, it's a little overrated.
Some of the yeah.
The one of them having a jig.
Yeah,
party
the
and all that
dance,
stuff.
the
Yep.
dancing.
That was one of Dad's favorite scenes.
It
too.
was his favorite. He loved that. Was his favorite part. Yeah, because he loved
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Anyways, the music and Irish dance and more primitive, native to particular heritage. He thought that he liked that part. I loved when one of my I chuckle every time I see it when Rose lands in that helicopter and they unload all that luggage and they hand the fish tank and the fish bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she brought her whole life.
She brought her whole life.
She brought her whole life with her, and she was the dog, the little Pomeranian, and the fish tank, the bowl with the fish. And there, I love that. I love that. Just that scene, I loved. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is.
And you can't overlook in this whole movie, the costuming is excellent.
Oh man.
Rose's dresses, the women's dresses, the men's tailored suits, the hats. It's all, I mean, just right up there. Even the steerage people in the way their bonnets and stuff. I mean, the research that was done, it's just so cool. I thought it was very,
above
very
and
well
beyond
done.
the detail of all that is insanely good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're gonna go more in depth on these, Ike, but I'll just throw out there my 3 favorite scenes that came to my mind when I'm writing this down. When Jack meets Rose, I thought that was a really good scene of
Okay.
she's about to jump, and
Mm-hmm.
he just talks to her and tells her basically how stupid you're
You
acting.
know, funny, when I watched that for like the 100th time, I fast forward through that.
Yeah,
It's
I feel the same way.
it's not
good.
my
It's
favorite.
just whatever.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, she didn't jump.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna.
My next one would be when Rose comes to him and she changes her mind and chooses him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I know you think that's an overrated scene, that the one that's on the poster and all that stuff, but I just always interpret that as this is me just enjoying freedom, and I'm making my choice
Oh,
to
yeah.
choose what I
Mhm.
want, and knowing that there's this guy that's going to be going after her for it. Like, I did like that. And then I shouldn't say it's my favorite scene, but of scene wise, the ship collapsing when it breaks in two.
Oh, it's
That
so good.
it's so tenseful. It's so
Sad.
it's
Oh,
yeah,
it's
it's
terrifying.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrifying. It's the suspense of hearing it and then seeing it, and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, it's that it's just really well done.
Every time I watch it, and you get trapped in that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's-
mesmerizing.
Yeah, that sickening feeling.
Mm-hmm.
This ship. Your dad used to joke, "We're watching Titanic again tonight. I wonder if the boat won't sink."
Yeah, I still say that same joke all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Part was like, maybe they'll all survive this time.
Yeah.
But this is that moment in that movie where the ship is like it's a killer.
Yeah.
Like it's a slasher movie all of a sudden. You know,
Yeah.
the thing you've been sleeping on is trying to kill you now. Like
yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah,
just makes it scary.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
scary.
can't hang on a couple more hours, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. How ironic they won a trip to death.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
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 All right,
Yeah.
so what are yours? Like,
I'm gonna go in order for mine. I love the dinner scene when they bring Jack to dinner.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
whole
Yeah.
scene.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just him talking, just you see the difference of the worlds of the people there in a hurry. And this is where, once again, Billy Zane is so good at, he's almost entertained, but yet he still even does see, like, oh, I kind of see what this kid's talking about. Like, as pretentious and much of a bad guy as he is, he, he understands. He's not that kind of bad guy,
Mhm.
and but I just love the dynamic of how the mother tries to, well, it's a weird way to live, and
Yeah.
he just puts it real elegant on how fun life is like that. But
And we
there's somewhere in the middle is the best part, right? And that's kind of interesting.
we don't talk much about the mother, but she played a great role.
So good.
Yeah.
Yep, so good. Yep,
She was
very good.
intense.
Mhm.
And she made it really in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. She made the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's definitely Rose's motivation
Mm.
of definitely part of her journey.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I love whenever we're talking about stuff like this. We have the movie on
Oh
the
yeah, there it is,
background,
right
guys.
there. Yeah.
It's exactly there.
That's her reminding her. Did you want me to live?
Yeah.
Where I gotta do things. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Acting so good.
Yeah.
So good for them. Yeah.
And the whole chase scene when he chases them throughout the ship.
Mm-hmm.
This was the best time, and probably the only. I'm sure he sat down trying to figure out how to do this, where Cameron was able to really. We need to show the audience that's watching this movie parts of the ship that you normally wouldn't see.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to do it. So we get to see what the engine room looks like. We get to see where the coal is, where the storage is, where all the first class stuff, all the lower class things, because they're running through them, and we kind of get to visit it through their eyes, And I like that. It's such a great way to put you in those places, because why else would you be down there where they're shoveling coal?
Right.
You're not going to be. But if you're running from some guy and you went to the wrong door, you get to see that, that was what's going on in the belly of this ship.
Yeah.
And then it opens up the whole other world of what those people went through when that ship started to sink.
Yeah.
When those sliding doors come down,
Yeah. The
you know
clink,
how
clink,
many
clink, clink,
people
clink.
sat in those things waiting for the water to fill up while they're in there?
Well, some of them burned to death.
Yeah, or boiled to
scalded.
death. Yeah, scalded to death from the water hitting the fires.
Yeah.
There's some awful ways that people died in that ship during it's all calm up top, and it's just slowly going down, and the violins are going down, and down below is just hell. You know what I mean? Like it's when you think about stuff like that, you realize, well, the perspective of where you are and the people up there, what's really going on? They're drinking stuff while the boat's slowly sinking. There's someone burning to death, boiling to death below them. It's amazing to think about when you really, shocking, like
Yeah.
not that they did anything wrong, but you don't think of that when you're watching the movie because the movie does feel so romantic. But when you start realizing the reality of it, you're kind of like, "Oy, this is rough. Like that's rough."
Yeah.
My other favorite scene is the whole time from when they see the iceberg to when they hit it. All that intensity of just the music that it's almost like a clock, the music is, and
Mm.
then it's silent when they hit the iceberg and the chunks of it fall on the deck, and then after they hit it, everyone's kind of like, "What's going on? It's okay, right?"
Yeah.
And they're like, and you feel that little shudder,
Oh yeah.
I love that when the captain feels that little shudder, and it's
He
like, "Oh,
knows.
what's going on?"
He knows.
Yep. And then when that guy says, "Oh no, it's gonna sink," and he says, "So how long?" It's like, he's like, "Oh, 2 hours." And he's like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think some people are like, "Yeah, 2 hours is a long time." No, it's not.
Oh.
I'm like, no, it is not.
Oh my god.
Not when that last half hour comes. You realize 2 hours
Yeah.
it went by real quick. You think
Yeah.
about 2 hours, man. You and I do a podcast. It's not 2 hours long.
Yeah. No.
Well, you know what I mean? Like this, we talked longer than the Titanic stayed afloat.
Well, yikes.
The other ones that stick out to me are mostly shots. Like I love the shot of when he turns. I kind of brought it up earlier when Cal turns and goes to go after her. And he's upset that she's with Jack. And he walks across the deck and they're shooting the thing off at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a great sweeping shot where action,
Yep.
they called action behind the camera. So when the camera gets there, they're all in motion already. That's the genius of that kind of directing, right? And also and in that same scene, when the guy there, Ismail or whatever his name is, when he gets on the boat and he kind of turns and the other guy, he puts his hands out, like he looks at him and realizes he's got on and he's just supposed to be women and children, but he just lets him go. It's just as he starts to do the hand thing, the music kind of hits.
Yeah.
What a great scene that is, because the guy's terrified, right? He's terrified. Anyone that does something like that, you could all be like, "Oh, a coward." It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Put yourself in his shoes. Like I'd be scared to death too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would really scare the hell out of me. And I always liked that scene of when they're climbing the boat after it, like before it breaks and they're kind of climbing up the boat. Where that pastor, he's holding on to the thing and they're all like holding on to each other and he's praying with them. You just think that, only 3 people survived out of the water. All these people probably died. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
what terrifying last moments of your life.
Those are their last rites.
Yeah. And then to be on, let alone being out in the boats when the lights go out. Imagine being on the thing when the lights go out. Whew.
Yeah.
How scary. Like those are my favorite scenes though. I love those, and yeah. Yeah. And I'll start off with the least best one because I know there's not many probably for you guys, right?
None for me.
I'm going to say the least best scene only because it's just straight up not true is when Ismail's sitting with the captain having dinner telling him, "Wouldn't it be nice if we got there early?" And the headlines and none of that's true. That's all false. The way that guy was portrayed of doing that isn't accurate. And Cameron's actually even gone on to go to the family later and apologize to them for making him look that way. But at the time, they thought that's all they knew, that people thought that's why, that maybe that was part of it. But that's just none of that's true.
Because they make it sound like in the film that was the one of the catalysts of why they weren't able to turn the boat in time.
Because they're going too fast.
Because they're going too
They were going fast. It's true, but it's not true that it was too fast. There's a lot of things that went in there, and they weren't pressured to go too fast. That's why you bring that up again, yeah. So there was no, "Don't you want to go out with a bang?" It's like, no, there wasn't none of that. There was none of the egging. They were just making good time. They ignored the iceberg warnings. If they did anything wrong, that's what they did wrong. Was ignored. But then, like I said, like I explained to you, that was an impossible night. They just shouldn't have been. God, they should have went a little more south. They should have took the iceberg warning seriously and dropped south and come in lower. And they just didn't. They went more north, thinking it was a more direct path with the way the current was going in the ocean and how everything was all set. And it would have been, but the time of night and the time of day and all that stuff and it being as cold as it was, it just was against them. It just was against them.
All right. So I don't know if you have any of this, Mom. We're almost done, guys. We got just
these will
one
go
or
quick.
2 more questions. Yeah. So best villain moment anything that the bad guy did that you were like, oh, he either portrayed that scene real well or that was a really bad thing he did, but it stuck out to you? I could tell you mine right off the bat is when Cal lied to Jack about there being a boat
Oh,
for
yeah.
him.
I was just
Or
gonna say.
not even that, because Jack's like, there's not really an arrangement, is there? And he's like, oh yeah, there is, just not for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's like, okay. And that whole thing, like you just said a couple minutes ago, Ike, about he had his chance to get off the boat, and just knowing that Rose was gonna be with Jack was enough. He
Mm.
didn't take his own chance. He'd rather have spend the last minutes that he thought he had going over there to ruin that other man.
Yep.
Than to let them get away with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's my best villain.
And then he still lived.
It's what he says to him too. He says, "I always win."
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and just the way they both played that with each other. There was no fight. There was no, it was just he just told him straight up that you're gonna lose this battle. Then I also love though when he realizes that he left the diamond in the coat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, put the coat on her. It's like, oh, you screwed up. You know what I mean? Like, but it's also, that's to me, that's the big moment is when he says that to Jack. That's where the line is crossed.
All of them. Yeah.
Because up until then, you think he's just capable of being an ass.
Mm-hmm.
But right then, he's capable of letting someone die.
Yeah.
For his own. So he's definitely capable of some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a fun question. Most punchable face.
Other than Cal. No, I'm kidding.
If
you can punch Cal.
If there's anyone in the movie that you're like, oh, he should have
just
get a slap or get something, be like, what do you do? Yeah.
This was tough.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in this I don't like.
Yeah.
Or like someone that comes off as annoying.
What's nice is some of the people in here that do come off as annoying, they end up getting hit by some of them. Like I wrote down that the ship crewman towards the end of the film who refused to listen to Rose when she was trying to get help.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah.
Like, listen.
Yeah. Huh.
I always thought the guy, what's his face, Lovejoy.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he needed a good punch to the face in this movie. That and there's that other mustache guy that's at them with the party. He's like, oh, should we retire with our cigars and stuff? Anyone that talks like that too much needs to get
He's a
punched in the
big
face.
soap opera star.
He is,
Yeah.
But he could have been punched in the face. That'd have been nice. Because sometimes when he talked, it was like, shut your mouth. It's like you just the way you guys talk is just, oh my God. And honestly, the mom could use a good punch into the face. She was nasty with her. She's a good old backhander, like Sean Connery style. I'm not saying he needs a punch to the face, but we haven't talked about him yet. Bill Paxton is awesome in this movie.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
The late great Bill Paxton. It's hard to believe still that he's gone. You Twister and all this stuff. I mean, I know it's way off topic, but I want to make sure we say it. I love Bill Paxton, and I think he adds a lot to this, being the guy in the beginning, or the dude that's looking for this diamond this whole time.
Yeah.
He just adds a credibility to this whole thing that's very believable.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love him. I just love him a lot. Like, once again, another excellent casting that's just ridiculously random,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the best. You got the best punchable face. I say the mom needs a slap. I think Lovejoy could use a punch. But yeah, your guy, he didn't get punched.
Yeah.
Because the other guys, they all do. Everyone that needs it really gets their due. So it's hard to give a punch to someone that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. One prop you would take home.
I picked a couple.
I picked two of them as well. So why don't you do one, Ike, then see what.
So the obvious one's the diamond, right? Like everyone would want to be cool.
That is a nice diamond.
It is. But I think Jack's sketchbook would be cool.
Okay. All right. One of mine I put was Jack's black pen that he used for sketching.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick the actual book, but do you have one on the top of your head?
Yeah, Rose's singing for her hair.
Oh, the butterfly.
Oh,
That's such a good one.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that Black Panther.
I love that one
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah.
I always thought it'd be cool to have one of the life vests that has the White Star Line
Oh, sure.
Titanic
Well,
thing on the
anything with that
wall.
on it.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
I also wrote down the Titanic ticket the Jack won.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just on that
Yeah.
piece of paper, just
Yeah.
framed the
That'd be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
Wow.
frame picture of the blueprints of the Titanic from when he rolls them out.
Yeah,
That'd be cool too.
that would be. I bet you can get those.
I bet you could.
That'd
yeah,
be
I'm sure
fun.
you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the most underrated moment you would say in the movie.
I don't think I think everything gets its fair due. There's nothing that's underrated.
Yeah.
I don't think something happens as the people. If I had to say anything, it would be I think people don't talk enough about Billy Zane's role.
Mm-hmm.
I really am an advocate of how awesome he is in this movie, even though he's that pretentious bad guy. It's captivating sometimes, and I never felt this way though all the time, but as I've rewatched it over and over again over the years, I've been more, man, this guy's so good. Like it just hits you so believable, but there's a realness there. There's an understanding there that you get that doesn't make it feel like it's cartoony or over the top, which it easily could be, and it's just not. So I'm always going to say that his role, I think, is very underrated. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really have one.
No.
No. How about an overrated one? Did either of you had that?
Yeah, that at the end bow of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah. That where they're.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not that cute.
No.
It's a little. It's kind of cringy.
Oh boy.
I like it better when he and the Italian boy are there.
Or just hanging out. Yeah.
And they
they're
do
like,
it.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
like, oh,
'cause
this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And they're going to America and
But
we're
they're
free.
pinnacle of their love story at the bout.
Yeah. I think that's just a little bit over. I mean, we've made it that way. It
Yeah.
fits well in the movie.
Yeah.
It's perfect in the movie. But that had to be a real focal
I mean,
point.
it's one of my favorite transitions from past to present is when that happens, when she's kissing her and then the camera comes around and the
every
shit
time.
goes old.
Yeah.
And you see that they kind of almost like they turn into skeletons
That
with it.
every
It's
time.
awesome. But what comes before that, I'm like, okay, this is cringy.
Every time that happens, because it happens several times in the
Yeah.
movie, where you see
From the
it come
old
to
new,
life
yeah, or
and go back to
back
death.
Yeah.
I think that's underrated. I think that needs.
That's
I
why I
mean,
think
that
she
is.
died at the end though, because there's all dead. Anyway,
Oh, that could be.
it's like the reverse of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going back.
That's underrated. That is.
It really is.
Yeah.
But that whole way of doing that is
Yes.
perfect because that's actual pictures and they've made it faded in and
Yep.
faded out. So yeah,
Genius. Yep, genius.
it is genius. Yeah.
All right. Funniest moment that you would say in the
Spitting.
Yeah.
That is good. Yep, that is good.
Yep.
My funniest moment is I love when he's handcuffed to the thing and he's like, okay, do a practice swing.
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
does. He's like, okay, I'll do it again. And she misses completely. And he's just like, all right, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
like, we're just ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just love that the whole, like, she's not good at that. Like, it's
No.
like, there's nothing, it's just, they don't have a choice. It's like, they're going to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
That, to me, it is one of the funnier moments in the movie.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of humor in this movie,
Yeah.
but there's enough to chuckle at here and there.
Sure.
Yeah, and the stuff with Molly, there's moments with her that's funny too.
Yeah.
So
I like it, and when she's describing, they ask, "Can you tell your story?" And she said, "Well, it was a long time ago." And the one guy, the guy there,
yeah,
he makes the comment about if you need more time. She says, "Do you want me to continue telling the story?" You know,
oh yeah,
that scene.
the old lady, her little comebacks here and
She
there
was
are
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Most emotional moment.
Oh, jeez.
I know what it is right here. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. The entire montage when they're playing that last song on the boat, when the violins are playing that.
Yeah.
Why to me is because throughout this whole movie, you're getting through the love story perspective, but when you get to that point, there's not any moment in that when they're playing that music do they show Jack and them.
Mm.
They're showing you other people on the
The
boat.
fate of the people.
Yep, they're showing the two
the
kids
boat.
she's putting to bed, the two old people laying in the bed.
Yep.
You're seeing other people, the people that are dying, the people that are falling. Everyone's that's their reminder of, by the way, this fake story we're telling you, this is something that's real. Right down to them guys playing to that moment and that song and everything. Is they want that.
That's your question was most emotional?
Yep.
To me, that's where Morgan cries every time.
Oh.
She can't handle it. She said when the two old people are holding hands, she blubbers. And then to me, it's like, it's just like, it is the reminder of, look, there's a true story behind this romance that I told you. And they take that moment to show those people in it.
Yeah.
Right down to like, those were real passengers too. Like these were real people that had gone and died. And I mean, these kids are laying in bed. She's reading a story to them as the water's rushing in under the door.
Yeah,
That's
tough
a
stuff.
reality for some of those people, and or those old people. We can't get off. We're just gonna die here together. You
Curled up
imagine?
together.
Yeah, it's like, can you imagine? Like, it's and to play it with that song during that moment with those guys who don't survive either.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty wild if you think about it. It's pretty wild.
I completely agree with you. The only other one I wanted to add to that, because I always was wondering when I was doing my rewatch of this yesterday, I kept thinking, what actually happens to this one character? The one, his friend that has the thick accent that's younger.
Oh yeah.
When the one of the silos or
Yep, the
whatever,
silo,
when it breaks and falls
Smokestack.
on him.
Yeah.
That I thought, wow, I don't know why I've never seen that before.
It's funny. That's a specific detail for this movie too. That's true. That smokestack particular, why that was so weak is because it's fake. Because Titanic only needed 3 smokestacks to actually run. But in order for it to look like its sister ship, who needed the 4, they put the other one on there for decoration. So that third one in the back worked, and the 2 in the front worked, but that middle one, before the back one, was fake. So it was built differently. So once it started hitting the water and it did break, that's why it broke so easy. So it actually works for the movie, and that's how they put it in the movie. Like, isn't that wild?
Yeah. Well, that was just, I felt so bad for him because he just lost his friend being a gunshot and all that. I'm like, oh, he might actually survive. No.
Yeah. No.
It's like a Final Destination moment right there. I was like, whoa, if the water's not going to kill you, that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
The only other glaring thing that's not true in this movie that didn't really happen is the locks on the gates of the lower class to the upper class.
Oh,
That's all made up for the movie too. There were gates, and they would close them at night to stop people from wandering around too much, but none of them had locks. They weren't allowed to for that reason.
Oh.
For the reason they put in the movie. But the movie made it more dramatic because he needed a key, and so there's a few things they went there that they didn't need to do that, but
yeah, they Hollywood.
Yeah, they gave a little bit of a Hollywood taste. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're at the final scores of this film. So Mom, out of 2, what would you rate the story?
1 out of 2?
Yeah. Yep. Out of 2, like 1 or a 2 or 1.
Oh, like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
2. Yeah.
got to be one of my top 20 movies that I've watched my whole life. You know,
All right.
maybe it's in the bottom 6. I mean, that's how much I.
Oh
like.
wow.
Yeah.
It's in my top 10
Yeah.
of best movies ever made.
Yeah.
All right, Ike. So out of 2, you put 2.
Yeah, I put 2.
All right, Mom. The characters out of 2.
Oh, 2.
Yep. Ike.
Yeah, 2. Yep.
Okay. I'm the same, by the way, for both those guys. Emotion and stakes, Mom.
2.
2.
All right, I put 2 as well. Rewatchability and industry impact.
Oh, 100 times 2.
Oh, there's no doubt. I've seen this movie. Not as many times as I've seen Jaws, but I've seen this movie a lot.
Yeah.
And its impact is bigger than just the movie itself. It's not only is it a story should be told about the boat itself, but also the stuff invented just to make this movie. Like the feats that they did just to get it done. How do you not give it a 2? Like, it's impossible to not give it a 2.
I gave it a 1. In this industry impact is the 1.
Yeah.
Rewatchability.
You struggle rewatching it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's it's not this because it's long. I could watch a long movie. Avengers Endgame is 3 hours long, so I could watch that over and over again. There's only so much when I get to that end scene. I'm like, I'm tired of seeing them die like this. So I'm like, I know it happens, but I don't need to relive it every single time. So once is enough for me a year. But
Okay.
that's the reason.
No, I hear you.
All right. So final scores. Mom, out of 10, what would you rate this?
Oh, a 10.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, this is in my top 10. Maybe if I had to sit down and write a top 10, it might be in a top 15 because there's a lot of good movies. But it's definitely top 15 best movies ever made. I give it a 10 out of 10.
I am giving it a 10 out of 10 as well, guys.
Yep.
So,
Which you're going to hear a lot with these guys because we just want to talk about movies we love anyways. And some movies that we really love, like I'd like to talk these guys into doing Dead Poets Society next.
Yeah.
And because Sammy has yet to see it. No. He might not like it like we do, which would be good. Actually, I kind of hope he likes it, but I do hope that he has a
Different
we're going to
different
give a
take.
10 out of it. but yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to hear his take, especially his age and how many times
Yep.
we've seen it because it's a particular kind of movie.
Right.
But you're going to hear a lot of 10s, guys. So there's no like, what are they going to say? It's like
Well-
we're only going to spend time on these breakpoints with movies on the ones we love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, and
So-
even then, you have to give an objective view on
That's
these
right.
movies
That's
too.
right.
And even if, like my personal taste, I gave it a 1 out of 2 for the rewatchability factor, that doesn't mean it's culturally. It did not impact the movie or movie industry at all. It was big.
Mm.
This is a big deal. I mean, I know James Cameron has already had successes with not Tomb Raider, Terminator
Well,
and
he'd make
stuff
a
like
good
that.
Tomb Raider, though.
He would, yeah.
Uh,
But this, you got to hand to him. This is probably one he could hang his hat on, like for if
he
wanted
still
to.
has. I mean, the money he probably still makes off this movie is ridiculous.
All right, so the official Goodell Multiverse score for this film, guys, is 10 out of 10. One final verdict, Mom. What would you say is like a closing line for this segment for you? Something you want the audience to.
Don't go on a cruise. Just kidding. Life can be shorter than you think. Obviously, those people had they thought they were going to America, the land of all the opportunity, and they ended up not getting anywhere. So
Yeah.
we're all ended up dying in the. You just never know what
Didn't matter how rich they were.
No, money had nothing to do with it. And we've learned that, all of you who are watching or listening to this. No, you can't buy health and you can't buy longevity. Some of it is just going to be what it's going to be. Don't making it count. As Jack said it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Every moment, make it count.
Mhm.
That's Jack's. I think that's the best line in the whole thing.
So that's what he said at the dinner table. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, what would you say, Ike, as your final?
I would say that if you guys haven't seen this movie, I don't know where the hell you've been. So if you're watching our channel talking about movies and you've not seen Titanic, then you need to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to go watch
Go
movies.
watch this movie.
go watch this movie.
You're missing out on some really good movies. Yeah.
That's my final line too, guys, is go and at least
Yeah.
give this a one time in your life watch and let us know in the comments below what you think about this movie too. And with that said, that concludes the Branchpoint breakdown special that we had with our mother
Yep.
here. And so,
So make it count, guys. Make it count.
make it count.
I want to touch on the very end real quick.
Okay.
Not when I think she died, because I do think she died. But do you guys are aware of the deleted scene or the
An alternate ending.
Well, I heard it. That
Yeah.
she jumps.
No, where they kind of they find her before she drops the thing,
Before.
and there's like this showdown about what to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm glad they didn't do
I
that
like
ending.
what they did.
I like what they did, but I got to be honest with you. I almost think I would have almost made it where she gave him the thing.
That or
If I were to change it, I would have done one or two things. If I were to change the ending when it comes down to the actual heart of the ocean thing, I would have had him go back to his office and it's in a wrap thing sitting on his desk.
Mm.
Bill Paxton. And then, then it ends with him smiling while he's holding it. And then it shows the pictures of her and then she dies. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep saying it. But, or reveal somehow that she sold it and that's how she started her new life.
Mm.
Because her dropping it in the water, I get what this whole thing is, the heart of the ocean, throwing it in. But I always saw that thing as the tie to the thing she was trying to get away from. I didn't see it as the heart of her heart in the ocean, like they kind of made it like in the movie. To me, that was the last gift Cal gave her. That why not use that last gift to actually build your life? Well, she still went and built a life without selling it, but I would have been more impressed if it was just on someone's dusty shelf somewhere.
Well, you have
because
to think,
she got money from it.
you have to think deeper than that.
You're right. There's a
Because
deeper part of that.
That resembled financial wealth.
Yeah.
This whole movie is based on there was a life without it.
Yeah.
Well lived.
And it is the thing that was in the middle of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Out of everything that was in her pocket, it ended up being that. So I get it, but I almost would have liked it if she'd given it to him.
Yeah. I remember the first time I watched it, she dropped it. I was in a theater and I heard everybody go, "No!" They all reacted the same way I was thinking. You dropped it. And yes, I think it resembles a lot of things, but one of them is her true love was in the bottom of that water. And she learned to love who she was without using that, and she gave it back. She learned a lesson by not using it. So, yeah. It was sad, though. It looked like a beautiful...
But see, that's always why I still thought...
And that's not true either, right?
There's no... That is based off of a real diamond.
Okay,
but it was never on the Titanic.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't the shape of a heart.
Okay.
It was just a real big thing.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be on a Titanic, and it wasn't.
Okay. So
it actually was owned by the Hershey's family from Pennsylvania, who were supposed to be on the Titanic.
Ah.
And they never were.
Wow.
And they didn't because he was sick. And they stayed longer. And they're actually upset about it because they wanted to be on the maiden voyage of the best ship in the world. Or we wouldn't have Hershey's.
No, we would not. Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy things. Yeah.
Oh my.
Go
check it out. Guys, find out more of those things because
check out those podcasts.
We just took the scab off it.
Yeah.
There's a whole wound there.
There's an iceberg, you would say. That's just the tip.
That was just the tip of the iceberg.
But see, that to me, like even with her throwing it in the water, it always gave validation to me of why that's why I thought she died. Because it was like, it was the end of, it was like this whole culmination of her.
Well, now
the last place she's going to be there, right? Like
now every time I watch that, that's what I'm going to think.
It's going to go through your head a little bit.
Never, ever have I thought that.
No?
Never. Now
From the first time I saw it as a kid, I thought she died. Isn't that weird?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I also think Forrest Gump's son at the end of Forrest Gump isn't really his kid, so... I think Jenny just doesn't know what to do with her kid because she's dying, and she's gonna. I mean, look what she does to him. She dresses him up like him, puts him in front of the TV, and says, "Oh, I even named him Forrest after you."
Yeah.
It's like, so you won't tell this guy he's had a kid for how many 6 years?
Yeah.
Like, you want to know the worst? It's not Darth Vader, folks. It's Jenny from Forrest Gump. She's a villain. Look what she does to that man throughout that whole movie. She's a kid with him and doesn't tell him about him for 6 years. It's because it's not his kid. She's just dying of AIDS, and now Forrest is relevant because he can take care of her problems, and he's rich. Anyways, wait till we get there.
We do digress.
Yes. No, but I do. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I always thought she died, but yeah, even as a kid, I was like, wow, to me, I always felt that way.
Now that's what's going to be in my mind every time I see it. How funny.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for tuning into this segment of the Goodell Multiverse podcast. Why don't you stay tuned because we are almost done here. What do we have next, Ike?
Oh, next we're going to have the retrospective of this guy right here, Doctor Strange, which was probably going to be a quick one tonight, folks, only because...
We're all tired.
Yeah, you have that, but this movie is just... It's
strange.
It's just one of the. Yeah, it's a great. You know what? That might be the best way to say it. This movie is strange.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I watched it. I thought it was strange.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Mom, for staying with us. And everyone, stay tuned. Here we go.
Bye-bye.